hello again. This is Z-Doom running Clock. What? I immediately died. This is very difficult. The start is difficult. Actually, after that it's okay. But in any case, I was trying to see the power output. You can see it here. About 116. It's about 120, 110 to 132 for recoup, the split version, split watt. Z-Doom running Chillax watts, about 110 to 144 watts. Brutal Doom, amazingly, it runs a lot lower power, only about 80 to 120 watts, even though the graphics card is doing more, but the graphics card is obviously more efficient. So this uses OpenGL. It mostly runs at 85 watts, and these are running at much higher power. This is still low, of course, and when nothing is really going on, well, a browser, for example, in the background, email program in the background, but doing really nothing at all, so not watching the window, etc. Then this PC runs at about 75 watts. I can pause it here and go to, for example, this is Brutal Doom. Let's see, what do we have here? Yeah, so there's now nothing really going on. Well, actually, of course, yeah, the Dooms are still running somewhat. Let's see, it's going a bit lower, 190 watts, 95. Let me close these. Let's see if that makes a difference. If you close the browser, probably also some difference, because the browser, yes, quit. Let's see. Yeah, okay. What's the power output now? And then it goes to, 96 now, but 75, 74. That's about the power it uses normally when nothing's going on, nothing active in a browser window, etc. And yeah, what I got today is this Seasonic Prime Titanium 750 watts. I wanted rather the 650, which is slightly more efficient at low powers, but yeah, I saw this for sale. Someone offered it, hadn't been used. It was a shop that doing some demo stuff we're selling. It was so cheap that I thought, okay, I'll buy it. And yeah, I'm curious to see what the power output is going to be. I mean, the power savings is going to be. So the power use by this power supply under the same circumstances. The Prime Titanium 750 watts by Seasonic. Seasonic is, of course, one of the best power supply manufacturers. Long ago, it was very difficult to get these in the Netherlands, and when it was possible to get one, to buy one without going through various hassle of international ordering, which was a lot more difficult at the time, especially transferring money was really difficult in some mid-2000s, something like that. I finally bought the S12-430. I mentioned that in the previous video. I think I've got it for about 16, 17 years or so. The fan controller didn't work anymore, and I replaced the fan with an Noctua fan. Before that, another fan. That's the only thing. It's been going on. It's been running perfectly for many years, and I was using it many hours a day, at least 8 hours a day, most of the time. So really good power supply. Seasonic, yeah, one of the best manufacturers, and one of the most early manufacturers that were really efficient. So the S12-430 at around these power outputs, 75 watts taken, then it's about 78% efficient, I looked up. And now you may think, okay, is it worth it to buy a high efficiency power supply like this? And actually that's interesting, because if you calculate, so 78% efficiency, that means that the actual power for the PC, that is required is about 58.5 watts. If the titanium TX-750 is 88, I think it's 88 or 90% efficient, something like in that region. It should be 90% at 10%, which is 75 watts. This is slightly lower, so perhaps 88. So it should get to 65 or 66.5 watts. And currently the cost of electricity is 0.34 euro per kilowatt hour, which used to be a lot lower, of course. But let's put it on, let's have the PC on 24 hours a day, the whole year. Then the cost for the power is 24 times 365 days times 75 watts divided by a kilowatt hour times 0.34 euro per kilowatt hour. Then we get to 223 euro per year for the PC that's on at 75 watts all the time. Normally you wouldn't do that, you put it in sleep mode. For example, here on FreeBSD, you would type in ZZZ, sleep, and then you get to almost nothing, which is really nice, although I had some issues with the power, the PC starting up again sometimes, so then you'd have to push the reset button. Not really an issue anymore since, yeah, really long ago already, since background file system checks, etc. with the UFS file system, and most file systems currently have these abilities. With the TX-750, if it is at 90% efficiency, would take about 193 euros, which means you save 30 euros in 1 year. That means you need to run it for a bit more than 3 years for the paid for this, which was really low price. Normal price is about 170 euros in that region. And yeah, if you want to recoup 170 euros, it's more than 5 years. So normally, even with higher loads that you get, which are still not so high, but this is not a game PC, this is just my standard work PC that I use for all kinds of things, and sometimes playing Doom, etc., some older games. I'm not really into the newer games, mostly because I'm not really into the, yeah, how do you say it, the realistic killing, etc. I mean, monsters, yes, fine. Doom 3 was, I think, the most recent, which is still already ancient. Most recent game. Well, perhaps Sega Rally, yeah, that was also a cool game. I have it somewhere. That was, I think, 2007, so after Doom 3. I don't know what power that takes. I need to check, but I need to boot into Windows. I don't even have any Windows here. Or perhaps I can run it under a virtual box or something. So do you win back the money that you invest in this power supply? Well, not really. I mean, it will take probably 10 years and a lot if you use your PC a lot. It's, yeah, I think you can save money perhaps more by going even lower power with an extremely minimalistic mini ITX or something like that, with a very small power supply, and that runs perhaps at 20-30 watts or so. And then you can save a lot of money, more than just putting a better power supply in a normal PC. The downside of that would be, of course, that you don't have things like what I have in this PC, which is a lot of storage. I have a 16 terabyte hard drive, a 4 terabyte hard drive. I could remove the 4 terabytes, put everything from the 4 onto the 16. Then I have gigabytes SSD, or a terabyte SSD, then a 120 gigabyte SSD. The 120 is more for backup. It was my previous operating system drive. And there's a DVD writer and reader in it. Yeah, you can remove the DVD writer and reader, put it perhaps in a separate PC for if you want to read or write any DVDs. That's possible. I also want to install actually a magneto-optical disc. I have several of them, 640 megabytes drives. This is one of them. And with the SCSE or SCSI, I find it a bit weird, the sound of that. So I always use, I say SCSI, well, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, it's a bit old legacy stuff, but the magneto-optical discs are the best for archiving stuff. And CDs and DVDs tend to get bit rot. I had it with some of my backup CDs, which luckily I already copied some years ago onto a hard drive. Here, let's unpack the, where is it? Unpack the power supply. Seasonic Prime TX. Yeah, PX is the platinum and GX is the gold. I really wanted the platinum to see what it would do. This is all the cables. This is the power supply. I don't know why they include this bag, but okay. I guess it's nice. So the S12-430 is then going into my second PC, which is yeah, a big tower with all kinds of stuff, CD players, etc. It's even older than this. This is already ancient, but still, yeah, it's fine enough for everything I do. Playing Doom or text editing, OpenGL stuff, anything. So Prime TX-750, SSR 750 TR, 750 watts maximum. If you look at the test results, then the efficiency is just almost unbelievable compared to what it's used to be. So these power supplies go to almost 90% at around 50 watts or so, which is fantastic. But yeah, that's fully modular. Downside of being a modular power supply is that if you lose cables, you need to make sure that the cables, you need to check if you can find loose cables, which is not easy, and you need to check that they are actually from the same manufacturer or wired the same, because it's not standardized. The fan should be a 14 centimeter or 13.5 centimeter fan. Very silent. I'll see about that. But anyway, so I'm going to install this and then check what the result is going to be. I showed some calculations here. The real saving in money that you can make is going to super small PC with almost nothing in it, no hard drive. Each hard drive, what's it, like 15 watts effective, something like that. And perhaps it's less because everything got more efficient. So that's a figure I remember from long ago, 15 watts or so, but may not be accurate anymore with the recent hard drives. It's just a 16 terabyte hard drive I have in here for storage, for archiving, for pictures, videos, things like that. So for a standard PC that's running all the time, you would expect something like around 200 euro per year. With an extremely minimalistic low power PC, I guess you can get it to 20-30 watts. That would be a lot cheaper. Than you can get it like 70 to 100 euro per year. Then you could really leave it on all the time without any worries about any costs, if you have any worries about these kinds of amounts. Okay, that's it for now. Next video I will show you what the power use is going to be with the new power supply. Bye for now.